everyone, this is Debbie from Ink and Page, and I'm here today with a new Bramblewood Blooms video. Today I thought we would work on a little bit of ephemera. I know I have been slow to get these videos out, and I apologize. I have so many things that I want to do that sometimes I forget that I'm one person and there's only so many hours in the day. So I am committed to getting this done though, so I am going to get it done even if it takes me into September. I was hoping to get this done by the end of August. We'll see what happens. If perchance you're new and you haven't seen any of the other videos, you could also use the kit that I just released today. It was today for me, but it'll be yesterday for you when you see this video. But it's called Turning Leaves, and it is a coordinating kit to Bramblewood Blooms. So if you wanted to create a fall journal, since now we're heading into fall, and use that kit instead of this kit, it is very similar. The contents are very similar. So the colors are even similar. It has more of a fall palette, so it's heading more into like the browns and the golds, but there's still pink and green and all of that in there. So you could use either kit, or you could use both kits if you wanted to do like a summer into fall journal even. You could transition partway through into the other kit. So it's completely up to you. We did already make our cover, and we made our signatures, and we sewed them all in. So that video is in the playlist for you guys. I will put a link to the whole playlist in the description below. So for today, I want to start with these little cute pocket tags that come in the kit. And I try to include something like this in all of my kits. I think they are also included in the Turning Leaves kit because I really liked how these ones came out. I just thought they were really cute, and so I thought I would start by making these. Like, that's just a really good place to start in the kit, so you're not starting from scratch, you're not starting from nothing. We're going to start here with these 3 items that already have coordinating pieces on the same page. Okay, so when you print, you can make 3 tags by printing only 1 page. Okay, I'm going to go over quickly what I have here today and what I'm going to be using in the future to create this journal. So I have both the Bramblewood Blooms add-on and journal kit. These are from the add-on kit. So if you don't recognize them, that's why they're in the add-on kit. And I have all of the ephemera cut out from both of those kits. I also created myself this bin of scraps from making this journal. So I have pieces of my cover fabric in here. I have used this fabric in there as well. So I have pieces of whatever fabrics I used in this journal. Like, I have this here. You can see this is another scrappy piece that I have leftover from making the journal. I have some of this ticking fabric that I used. So basically what I did is I saved all the scraps from when I made this, and then I also looked around through my stuff. This is the fabric I used on the inside spine, and I also looked around to see what other pink or white or beige little bits and pieces that I had on my desk, and I put everything in this one container. And then I have a shelf, and I just keep all the stuff for this on that shelf. I also have the snippet kit that I just released. I think it was last week. I cut up that whole kit, and I just have it in here. I haven't inked anything or anything like that. I have all the strips here, and I have all the collage tiles here. So I also was thinking about working with those today, and then I try to make this a manageable video, and then that way I can make more videos. So let's keep our fingers crossed in that direction. So as far as that goes, I just wanted to let you guys know what I was using. One of the main reasons I created this snippet kit was because I feel like sometimes you just need some contrast from all the intensity of all the graphics, right? So you just need something that's different. So if you don't like these vintage snippets, and I know not everybody, this is not their thing. This is definitely my thing. So if you don't like this type of stuff, you could use something different. You could use die cuts from somewhere else, like if from 49 and Market or Stamperia. If they have like a pink die cut set or whatever kit you're using, you know, you could look for just something that gives you a little bit of contrast. You could also punch things or die cut things out of book pages to create that contrast. You just want to have something that isn't the same. Okay, and I know I designed my kits so that they fully coordinate throughout. So that's why I always try to offer a couple of pieces, random pieces, especially in the add-on kit. These came from the add-on kit that aren't designed in the like palette and style of the rest of the kit. Okay, because you know, and then that gives us ways to create contrast in what we're making. Okay, and there's lots of ways to create it, so I'll give you other ways to create that contrast if you don't like this sort of vintage vibe of these things here, that you like a more maybe a more fantasy vibe edge, you know, like it just depends on your personal taste. And you know, if you want to have a more magical journal, for example, you know, you might not be as into these vintage pieces, so you might want to find like a book that has like, you know, illustrations or something like that in it that you like and can use to offset the graphics that are in this kit. Okay, so to begin, let us put these together. Now, these pockets and labels do not particularly match a particular sorry, a particular tag. So you can mix and match them however you want. I printed that, you can see here, I'm showing you right now here on these. You can see what I printed on the back. This is the pattern paper I printed on the back of mine, so you'll know if you see this pattern, it's the back of something. Okay, I'm going to set my actual journal aside right now. Okay, so I have 3 labels and I have the 3 tags. So I'm going to put these together. And I just kind of like, I don't have like a huge preference on what goes with what here. I'm just going to kind of try to mix and match them. If you want, you could, to multi-match, you could use the back side. Like, so whatever you printed on the back side could be the pocket. So I'm going to start with mine by gluing this on. So I've already inked everything ahead of time. So all I need to do here is, and you obviously don't need to ink it if you don't want to ink it. So I'm just going to run my glue along the edge here. And I'm going to do this for all 3 of these. And then we can kind of take a look at our ephemera and like what we want to put inside of it. Or it's not, well, inside of all 3 of these guys, I guess. And then what we want to put on the front. And, you know, like this is kind of a situation where this is a great project if you don't have like a ton of time and you still want to do something. So you just have this like little mini project that can be done. You know, and there's also like pages in the add-on kit particularly that have like envelopes and cards on them that offer similar opportunities like this. They're like condensed situations, so you don't have to worry about cutting a bunch of stuff out. You can go ahead and put together your envelopes and decorate a little card maybe to go inside the envelope, and that can be your little project for the day. You know, these are the kinds of things that I like because a lot of times I'm doing like so many different other things, like either designing a kit or editing a video or, you know, researching a kit. I'm very excited about what's coming up in September. I have like a multi-leveled idea going on for September, so I'm very excited about that. Obviously, Halloween is coming too, so that is definitely a bonus. Okay, So I am going to use some of the pieces from the actual kit here, and then some of the pieces from the snippet kit as well. Okay, so you've got a lot of different options from the kit. There are tons of pieces. This, let's see. I might want something a little bit smaller for that, or just a different shape. Because we do have this bottle here. I just kind of need to decide what I want for my vibe here. And this one might go really well in here. Oh, that just fits in there. Okay, so let's consider that for that one. I would like to use these labels on the front. I think they're super adorable. Not sure exactly which one's going to go where yet, but I would like to use them like in a kind of a cluster situation. Let me put my glue away here. I have, these are the ones from the actual kit, and then the ones from the snippet kit are in here and right here. So I'll put all of the snippet kit in this black bin so that it's clear what, you know, what's coming from where. So those are all in this black bin from the snippet kit. And don't be afraid to cut things in half if you feel the spirit move you in that direction. Because right now what I'm thinking about doing is cutting this in half. Because I feel like this would look really good in here, but it's obviously too big. So I think I might just chop it and make it into like a little tag. I'm trying to decide where to cut it because I want to have this at the top here. I think I'm going to cut it like right about there. All right, I'm going to put that in my things here, and I'm going to grab my, I'm not sure that that was very straight. Okay, so I'm just going to grab my mini cutter and straighten that out. Which is what I probably should have done in the first place, but you know, there you go. All right, so that's straightened out. And I'm just gonna try to give this like a similar edge to what I have here, so it looks just as, I probably need more ink. There we go, so that everything kind of just blends together. And then I'm going to start, oh wait, which one did I have this in? Is it this one? This is not a huge pocket, so I'm not going to be able to get like a ton of stuff in it. Looks like I had a little cutting accident there, so I'm going to have to use that on a layer probably. I do have these little strawberries. Okay, here we go. Here's another flower here. This inking could just be a little bit darker because I'm going to put it against the pink here. I think I like this the best. Okay, all right. So then if I want to put a label on here, like so. Okay, this is where these like littler pieces are going to come in handy, I think. Because I can just use them to help with the cluster. I do like that number 17 right there. I also have this, which is a potential here. These are just potential pieces of ephemera to go in there. This is cute too. Let's see. This, I think this one is actually from the Bramblewood Blooms kit, and I mixed it up. Okay. I'm just going to try to organize my pieces by what I want to put on them. And then it's nice to vary the shapes too. Like I could put a round one in the front of this one because I have a flower in this one. These are not necessarily going to be anywhere near each other in the, you know, final product, but it's nice to have like a variety of arrangements so that if they do end up next to each other or they do end up with other things near other things, you know, you can have a little differentiation there. I think this is a card that goes in one of the envelopes, but I may co-opt it for this. Oh, it's very long though. I like it because it's got this space up here, and then we can just kind of turn this into like a little cluster, you know? We can make it like into like a little tag with a bunch of different stuff on it. I have a bunch of these little mini tags too. So what we could do is put this on here like a tuck spot too. It's like it doesn't have to be glued all the way down. And then we could have the option to have a whole nother layer of ephemera on here. I think once you start doing stuff, that's when all of the ideas start like rushing forth. I'm just looking to see if I can find one that's a little bit shorter. Well, let's try one of these. See, here we have these smaller tags. This is like a nice garden situation here. I don't think these made it to the inking. So I'm just going to try out a few of these just to see how they look and if I like them or not, and kind of decide what might go where. Now, see, this gets lost against the background of the tag, so I'm definitely going to need something in there, and that's why this piece is included in the kit, to be honest. It's there to create a background. I also have the background papers printed behind me, so if I need to add like a piece of paper or something in there, I can. Okay, so let's see if we want to do anything else here. I do love the idea of a butterfly, so I'm wondering if we can like tuck spot this. This one might be the right one for the butterfly, actually. Okay, so this, I think I might move over to here. See, these, I do a lot of shuffling around, I have to admit. Okay, so there I've got that, Like, I like to style my pockets, you know, because we can also add a little bit of like fabric or eyelets or whatever to these too. I just wanted to get my like kind of my ideas and my vision laid out, and then I'll go to town. And then also, because these tags already have pockets on them, unless you like really want to, you don't have to go super to town on the decorating because it already exists. Like there's already like it's already like a by its nature embellished. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I have this too, and I have this. don't really want to give this up, but see how this like pink just jumps? It's really great. Okay. You could always too take just like a piece of brown paper or even a piece of washi tape in the background to kind of create like a little bit of a break so that, you know, you can differentiate what's going on here. I kind of like how this is shaping up. I'm going to see, I might want to add this in here. There's also words in the kit that you could cut out. So if you don't want to just have, you know, I realize that's like kind of nonsense words because it says theaters, but I feel like I just like it because the font is pretty and, you know, that sort of thing. I'll also do like we should also do a library pocket for the beginning. There's library pockets in the add-on kit, so we could do a library pocket also for the beginning of the book. I think these are kind of cute. Okay, let's see. There's also the pieces of, these are the strips, the like strips from the snippet kit. I think this one's particularly handy because you could cut this up in like, you know, 10 different ways. I'm gonna cut it up right here. It's just a bunch of ads from the newspaper, like an old-timey newspaper. You think I would learn from my other hair? The other thing I would like to do is use some of the collage strips from both the main kit as well as the snippet kit. I might be pushing my luck here. Over here. It's interesting how much of a difference it makes to have, you know, the layered ephemera on the pocket. It just makes it look a lot more finished. Now, if you would prefer to write on this, you could just lose the butterfly. I know that I specifically made a bunch of different sized butterflies for this kit, and of course now I can't find any of them. Oh, here's a little one. I just think it's too little. I'm gonna go ahead and use this big guy. Yeah, okay, all right, so I'm pretty much into how this one's shaping up as well as this one. I just want to do something else to this one. I'm trying to work on not making such a big mess when I create, but like, I mean, I guess we all probably create big messes, right? Although some people may be better compartmental makers, like they can just sit down and do like a specific thing, you know, and that's a skill I hope to gain. Okay, so I'm going to start doing some gluing here, and I will get a little bit of something to put with that, I think. I'm looking to see what I have here. I have this, I like to have a little something underneath the butterfly that's like either like you could put a little bit of thread or a little bit of muslin. I'm gonna get a little bit of tea-dyed cheesecloth here and see how I feel about that. I don't want it to be too big or too bulky. This is probably a little bit on the big side. You could also add just like a little scrap of something that you've used somewhere else in the journal. That's why it's like, I love saving little tiny scraps. It seems like nonsense to save them sometimes, but like they're so useful in the long run, you know. I have like a bunch of tiny little pieces of sari silk around here that I just like keep, because like that's always the, like, when you're looking for something and you don't know what you're looking for, that's what you're looking for. It's those little pieces of stuff. So like I have this tiny piece of lace right here. Like I'm gonna be looking for something later, and that will totally be the thing that I'm looking for. Let's see how that goes. Okay. All right, so let's get some glue on these guys and go to town. Okay, so I am going to glue this one on like a pocket, even though I'm not necessarily going to use it as a pocket. I mean, I always like to leave my future self some presents in the, you know, journal. So like I will come along this at some point and I will realize I turned it into a pocket and be delighted. So this is my future self making a little surprise for my now self making a surprise for my future self. Alright, so let's put a little bit of glue on here. I'm just gonna go ahead and use this stuff. Just gonna ink this so I don't have to ink it while it's covered in glue. I did not ink all of my little pieces from the snippet kit yet, which I'll probably do tonight when I edit this video, because it's a really good activity for me to keep me busy while I'm supposed to be editing. Okay. And now I think I can add this on here. And then I'll have like a little bit of a ready to go embellishment for a page that we're going to be doing later. So that's what my plan here is with doing these little tags ahead of time, and doing 3 of them at once is kind of, in a weird way, like a compartmental make. I'm making like 3 of the same thing at the same time, which is probably quicker than if I were to go ahead and try to make these like one at a time. It also, like, I could use them as a set if I wanted to. Alright, there's that. And I did make that one into a pocket. I am thinking about putting something in this pocket here and not like covering the whole front like I did on that one. Okay, I forgot to ink this guy. Just gonna try to be careful of the glue on the back. I do this all the time, so I have some general skills in it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that's on there. Okay, so okay, so I want to have a little something there. One of those is crooked, I think. So this cute little tree with this, oops, that's not the pocket. This is the pocket. I like that there, though. Too bad I didn't make that a pocket. All right, let me see what I want to put in there. Okay, whoa. Okay. I'm going to show you the full sheet of these in just a second because I wanted to just kind of show you how, like, these were designed so that they could be used cut up or not cut up. Like if you wanted to use them, let's see if I can get that in there. If you wanted to use them as like a masterboard, that would be like a great idea. This is probably needs to go over here. You're not going to see it. And I do feel like we need something here. Not sure what it should be. I'm going to see if I have anything in my little... I do have this little trim. I'm going to look at my little fabric scraps here and see what I have in here. This is a piece of the Tim Holtz fabric, and I'm wondering about grabbing a piece of this. I'm thinking number 520, the Blackberry Jam. That piece I cut off from before. It's possible I should not have gone with words. Let's try this one at the end. I have a little postcard here, and I'm wondering about should I put my tiny butterfly on here? What do you guys think? Thinking, oh, you know what? Let's do this. I think that'll do it. Yep. Okay, look, see? That worked out great. I'm going to try a little bit of glue stick glue on this one, so I can get like a good full coverage situation. I did not put anything on the back of any of my snippet ephemera, and I printed it, I meant to say this, I printed it on 32-pound paper because I knew I was going to be layering it on top of other stuff. Okay, I have printed everything else on 100-pound cardstock, so that it's pretty stiff, because like I want like these background pieces to hold up, you know. Okay, now I'm gonna see if I can get some of my Wayward fabric into this one here. This could possibly be, I think that's the scale of this is completely off for that. So this probably isn't going to make it into this one, but let's see what we can do here. You know what might look cute for this is if we staple it on. You could also use brads if you had those handy. I'm just going to grab my stapler. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. Now, because I'm going to staple this on, I'm giving myself a little bit of flexibility in terms of, like, do I want to put something behind it? And I can always glue something over the staples if I decide I don't like them. I do like the idea of mixing in kind of this, like, almost office-y industrial look into something that is pretty, like, it's pretty, you know? Okay, so I have that. I'm pretty, in general, happy with the way that looks. This one's less, it has less fabric in it, like, to soften it up. I have some, like, smaller lace trim that we could do this. How about that? What do you guys think? I hope you like it. Okay, let's put this here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do the same, like, pocket situation. Uh-oh. I hope my glue didn't get jammed up while it was sitting there. Sometimes it will, like, it makes this, like, glue plug thing that is great because it's what keeps the, you know, glue when you're not using it, like, in the glue container. But, like, sometimes it will start to form one while you're still crafting, and then you end up with a bit of a jam. Okay, so I've got that on there, and then I'll use... okay, so yeah, let's cut this to fit, because I have a pretty long piece here. Actually, let me try the... Okay, and it's wrinkly at both ends, so that's great. All right, let's use fabric glue since it's wrinkly. Then we have a little bit of thread coming off the top there, so I think that works out pretty well. Gets that down. All right, I'm going to trim this, and then I think I'm going to need to add a little bit more glue. This is cotton, like crocheted lace that I dyed. Every, like, once in a while, I just put, like, a big bowl of, like, tea water and, like, out on the patio, and then just dye a ton of ribbon. Like, anything I can find, I will just dye all of it. I dyed so much the last time, but I'm so happy because I'm burning through it. So, all the stuff I've been doing. I also dyed some of the Tim Holtz. He's got these, like, flowers here. These are the Tim Holtz ones. I forget what they're called. It's some, like, paper flowers is probably what I think they're called. Then I also have these other ones that I've just no idea where they came from. They're white. I found them in a drawer. They're, like, probably off of Amazon because I have a lot of them. Like, a huge pack. And so I dyed those too, and they look great as well. So the main difference here is that they have the green and these don't. So, and these are roses, and these are more like, they have like a little center to them. So that's the difference. But, like, I was going to try them both out and see how they work out. The Tim Holtz ones are a little smaller too. Okay, now I distracted myself. I'm sorry, I got, like, way off topic. All right, I'm just going to I want the whole trim just to go down, so I just want to, that was a lot of glue. Okay, let's see if we can get that down there. Okay, perfect. perfect. Okay, I'm very happy with that. I don't think that's probably not a great spot for that. So I'll save that for later. Okay, so look, we have 3 tags now. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so I'm gonna like sort of put these over to the side here, and then we're gonna get out our collage strips here. And I'm gonna pick one. This is, okay, actually this is gonna be a good time to show you guys the snippet pack paper. Okay, so these are the papers that were in the snippet kit that I was talking about using as masterboard. So you could cut tags out of these, or journal cards, or just general backgrounds. Same with this here. This piece is also included in the snippet kit. So same thing, you can cut it out. It has the same kind of pink contrasty tones in it, so it would be good for you know, backgroundy type situations, or you could just totally make tags out of these, and you would have like an already collaged tag done for you. So, and this is the other paper that comes in the snippet kit. It's just like a vintage wallpaper. Okay, so that is just my little digression here. These are the collage strips. So basically I thought I would pick one of the ones. These are the ones from Bramblewood Blooms. I just wanted to pick one of these ones to work with. I think this is the one I want. Okay. And then I thought we would use our ephemera and go ahead and decorate this, and then we would have like a little mini masterboard made out of this. That's pretty easy. And you know, we could mimic the look of, this is a Tim Holtz fabric, but it's kind of like a collage strip. So what we could do is use washi tape, use snippets, use whatever we want, and glue them on here and sort of create our own custom strip like this that matches our journal. And fortunately this is pink, and I had that pink piece of fabric that I hope I did not lose, so we could use that as well as all these strips from the snippet kit, especially if you want to have some words. And we can just start looking at how we might want to put these on here. I have some text here, which we can cut. And let's see what else here. I have that. I have that piece of lace too. And then we also have our pieces of ephemera from the kit that we could use as well, because these things do not have to be horizontal. You know, we can go completely vertical, we could go round if we wanted. I think I might employ my number 17 here. Feels like a good match for this. Maybe some of this fabric down here where it's green, just like to tie that back down here. A stamp from the snippet kit. I have the lace, which is very, very white, but we might be able to make that work. I could put a little ink on it. I'm going to put the lid back on my glue here. So I'm just going to kind of line these guys up and see what I want to put where. You know, I also have, these are the domino tiles that are in the kit too. This one's striped, so I think it would be an ideal candidate for cutting up. So I'm just gonna cut this. You could stamp some pieces too, if you would prefer to use like completely different types of ephemera, like something like completely contrasting, you know. Okay, so let's try this one. We could stamp directly on there too. Oh, and washi tape. I forgot about washi tape. So let's get some washi tape too. And then I can get some plain. This is like kind of like, what do you call it? It's got like measuring tape on it. It's one of the Tim Holtz trims, I think. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just put the washi tape down because, like, I find it to be, like, a really easy and good foundation. Like, it's an easy place to start. This is just plain pink washi tape. I do love plain washi tape a lot. There's some pattern ones that are really, really good, too. But I just love the plain. Because I like to build on top of it so that it kind of is part of the background, you know? I might need glue for this. This tape does not stick super great. But I love it, so... There's a lot of washi tape, though, that doesn't stick really well. It always sticks really well when you do not want it to. Like, when I'm, like, die cutting something or something like that, then I end up with really super sticky washi tape for some reason. I'm going to go ahead and use the glue stick for this so I can get the entire back of it. That will help it stay on too. So probably go down this with some of the paper pieces, and then I'll come back through with the, like, with maybe we could try some bigger pieces of ephemera as well. Okay, so let's see here. I want to cut this to fit. This pattern is one of those old book, like, end paper patterns. I love those so much. They're all so pretty. And, like, I wish they made papers like that again. I have a couple of, like, super old Nancy Drews that have really cool end papers in them, but I would never take those apart for crafting, so thank goodness for scanning and printers, right? Alright, let me put that there. And you don't have to stick to the lines, but the way that this particular strip is set up here is that, oh boy, I just put that on crooked. It alternates between an image tile and a, like, pattern or decorative tile. So there's image, decorative on this, and that will work if you go, even if you would like to have a horizontal one, say, it works the same way in the kit. I'm gonna look and see what else. Okay, I'm gonna take just Genuine off of there. And the words for, like, the words that are included in the kit would work really well for this as well. Just want to cut this a little bit narrower. I really want to trim it there, but I want it to go across. Oh, sugar. I just forgot. Okay, now I can do this part. All right, let's see what else we can put on here. I want to vary my width of some of these, so this is too white for what I want. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh, wait. This. Okay, let's do this one. Goodness, I did it again. Okay, I almost went rogue and put this in a different place, but I'm wondering about going like super rogue and going like this direction here. All right, let's give that a try and see how that works. If it doesn't look great, well, I can just cover it up. Or we'll just use it as part of something else. I'm gonna go ahead and use the Fabri-Tac right here. Okay, so put that back in the scrap bin. That would cover that up though. Okay, so I think the only thing really left is putting maybe some lace on the bottom of this. I think I might use the other one though, the same one that I used, if I can find it. The same one that I used for over there, because I think I need something thinner. Alright, so I'm going to put a little tiny bit of this right down here. Alright, so I'm going to grab the glue. Alright, I'm just going to put that down right there. I think I'm going to need a little bit more on the end there. This glue is getting gooey. I think it needs to be thinned out a little bit. Okay. This is why I don't love Fabri-Tac. When it gets gooey, it's really gross. but it's good for this, so. Okay, so I have this here. I also have a crazy idea. Well, it's not super crazy, but okay, so I kind of like how that turned out right there. I'm wondering if I should stencil on top of this. I really want to put that on there, but I think it is going to cover up. I could put it there. I wish this was on paper instead of cardstock, but I guess that isn't going to happen. I'm going to try it anyway, because why not try it, you know? The worst case scenario is I don't do it like this next time, you know? Okay, so now if you wanted to, you could keep going here. I'm just going to grab a couple other pieces here. Okay. This is very bold. It was a bold choice, let's put it like that. But I could use this cut up too, so it could end up just being what it is, you know. I think I covered up my washi tape entirely, but that's okay. All right, I'm going to put this piece down here. Okay. And then I'm going to put this butterfly on here. I may not have room for my stenciling idea. I almost wish I had stamped back there, but all is not lost, because I could always do it later if I wanted to. For like when I know where this is gonna go. I was just seeing if I could, if another shape would be good. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone, I think, and not go crazy on there. Okay, so there's that one right there. And I was only going to do one of these, but I think this one ended up being pretty busy. When this glue is like completely and totally dry and it's like tomorrow, I'm probably going to just go ahead and use the paper cutter just to even those edges out. Because like you can kind of see on the back where it's not quite, you see, I can't resist. Okay, it's not quite straight. So anyway, I can straighten that out with the paper cutter. I think probably a little bit better than my scissors. Okay, but now I have this too. Okay, so I've got 3 tags in that. So let's pick a different one of these. Those are all of the ones that are. These ones are from the snippet kit. But really what I want are the ones that are from the main kit, because I printed these ones on cardstock. Alright, so I think I might take this one. I was thinking I would like one with books on it. So what if we did a little stenciling on this one, just to see how that looks. I'm going to take this here and go up to the yellow and go on here with some of this pink. And I'm not going to decorate this one like I did that one, because I kind of want the decoration to be the stenciling. Okay, so let's put this on here too. I'm going to need to cut this guy. Once I get going on this stuff, I don't want to stop. Okay, here we go. There's that. Make sure that it's lined up correctly there. Okay, great. That just makes it a little bit more interesting. You know, and then also, you know, if you just want to cut these up and use these as squares, the reason I did some pattern ones here was so that they would make good mini backgrounds in case you wanted to, like, say, put a fussy cut on this, like a little butterfly or, you know, something like that on there. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I decided for this kit, I wanted to use these two stencils. And these, I don't know if you can see these very well. Grab this here. These are from Stamperia. Okay, and this is, I'm not sure what they're called. This one I know is from the Brocante Antiques, because it says Antiques down here, so I know that for sure. I was messing around with these earlier, and I got paint on them, and I cannot get this peeled paint. It's this just paint. It's permanent when it dries, and I tried to get it off quickly, but I don't think I was quick enough, so I may be stuck with this forever. So, all right, so let's do a little bit of, what if we, okay, what should we do? Should we do writing? Maybe we'll do writing. I didn't use this after all. Okay, let's do some writing on there. And I'm going to move the things here out of the way. I'm not sure if I have a paint palette here, because I wasn't like 100% planning on painting. So I'm going to be using the desk. Okay, which is why it's important that I move stuff out of the way. Okay, so let's get these guys. Okay. All right, I'm going to grab a blender sponge here. And these guys are going over here. Ooh, what if I did that one? Let's do that on there and see if we like it. If we don't like it, I'm just going to use the desk, because this is the last thing that I'm going to do, so I can just wash this when I'm done. Just going to like load up my brush here. This is probably better for stenciling. And then I'm just going to go over this here and see what I get. All right, let's see what we got. Ooh, I like it. I like it. Okay, so here's what I was thinking is I would do like a little tiny like bit of writing right here. Or wait, the other stencil actually has like script here. It doesn't, like, it's not very legible. I tried it out, but I don't think that matters for a situation like this. Okay, so I'm just gonna like gently go over this. Oh, whoops. I think what I'm gonna do too is take it down into the yellow. And so it's not just restricted to the one. Yeah, see, it's kind of a blurry text. I'm not sure if I love that. Yeah, it's very blurry. That was not my best call, I don't think. I wonder if I had used... Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is before that totally dries, I know I had a paintbrush here. What did I do with it? Ooh. Okay, so the only paintbrush I have here is a spatter brush, but we're gonna just make it work. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do is we're gonna paint this like so. We're going to attempt to make it look like this was on purpose. Okay, I've got to let this dry really quick. I'll use my dry tool and then I'll be back. Okay, so I think my general mistake here was that the paint is too thick for that fine of a stencil. But as I was sitting here, I looked over and I have this like little bin on my desk where I put all the, like if I'm stamping, I just will drop those stamps into the little bin and then I know I need to clean them and then put them back. So this is just sitting there waiting to get put back. And so I'm like, okay, you are the perfect stamp to go right here. So I'm going to grab my archival here and a stamp block. And I will just stamp this right on there. And then hopefully it will look like I did it on purpose. And if it doesn't, I'll just keep decorating until it does. Okay, so I got that on there. I'm just going to drop some ink on here. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is go like this. And then I'll have room below it. I'll have to find another stamp. I only think I have one other stamp in the bin, and it's... There we go. And this one says excursion, which I'm not 100% sure I want to put right there. But as you can see, it does fit really, really well. Let's see. I don't know what I'm going to put right there. I had a tiny little butterfly one from Prima here, like the other day, but don't see it, so I cannot use it. I'm going to see if there's any other ones in here. You guys, what do you think about that one? This one was in the drawer too. This is, I'm not sure. I think this is a graphic 45 stamp. So, let's see here. I need to make sure it's straight here. Like I said, if I don't like this, I'm going to, my plan is to just put washi tape over it. So, I feel like I can't lose here. I do not like, this is really rough getting this straight. Or actually, yeah, let's do it like this. We'll put it right on this line. It's a little bit. Okay. All right, let's try this. I didn't mean to go down a rabbit hole here. We are going to test this though beforehand. I don't like to go in blind. I've used this stamp at least 100 times, so I'm just going to test this one out on a piece of scrap paper and let's see how it looks. Okay, that's not a good sign. Okay, the stamp looks good. So here's what we are going to do. We're going to get a baby wipe. Just clean this off because there must be like something on it that's keeping it from sticking to the acrylic here. And then I'm going to put it on the bottom of the stamp block. Hopefully you can see that. See if I got that even close to straight. Okay. Put that there. Okay. Now I'm just gonna ink this middle section here. Or probably get the whole thing. What do you know? Okay. That's why I'm working on the glass mat. Okay, so now we're just gonna go like kind of right in the middle here. It's not entirely straight. What do you guys think? You guys can let me know if you think it's a keeper or not. Do you have this trim here? It's hard to get those long skinny stamps to be straight, but I think I might be able to salvage this. I like the pattern. I think the pattern itself looks really, really good. So that's a plus. And I know I have... I do have like a few more of these Tim Holtz washi tapes over here. This isn't one of the trims ones. I think the trims ones are in the back of the drawer and I can't reach it. So I thought I would try adding. I mean, this is just like random additions now, but I think the only thing I need is something just to delineate right across here. So, oh, you know what? This is yellow. Maybe this came out of the drawer for a reason. Oops. Is it too big? I don't know. I think we can use it. If it doesn't look good, I think it'll probably come off. Not too bad. Okay, wait. So I want one more. I'm gonna try this one. This is like a blue flowery one. This is one of my favorite patterns. So. I think this one's getting lost. I think I'm gonna repeat this one because I have tape all over the place here. I think it's just exactly the right width or height, because this is what? There we go. Not too bad considering how I messed it up. I'm gonna see what else I can do here to improve it. But for right now, I think I'm pretty happy with it. I'm gonna look for the rest of my trims and see if I can get those out. And maybe those will, like, I can just put one more little piece, like right here. Because I think this is too dark. So I think that would go a long way here towards, like, fixing my boo-boo here. So, all right, well, I'll update you guys next time with this. Now I have a gigantic mess to clean up. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you guys made some tags and decorated your collage strips as well. And I will see you again very soon with a new video. And we will probably tackle like some of the envelopes and other pockets, get those put together and start thinking about where we want to put those in our journals. So I will see you guys then. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys on Monday with a new free ephemera for September video. And then I will also see you on Wednesday to finish up August's free ephemera because it was very involved. So thank you again for joining me, and I will see you then.